next class where we're going to go over call center stats, analytics, both real-time and historic reports. So we're going to go over this call center tab that you see here in this domain in pretty good detail. You're going to be able to access this call center tab under several user scopes. You can get it, of course, at that reseller level. The office manager level will be able to get access this tab, as well as call center supervisors will be able to access this tab with all of these reports. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll through some of these reports here. We're going to tackle them one at a time. We'll start with real time, and then we're going to move on over to historic reports, and then we'll talk about these other little bubbles right here as well. So first, what we do is we give you a real-time stats grid that's pretty basic. It's just that default stats grid for your clients. It gives them information like in real time, how many calls are waiting throughout their queues, what the average wait time is for the day, average handle time, total calls to the queue. All those things are available to them right there at a glance. In addition to that, we take it a step beyond with this feature we call Vie Boards. So Vie Boards are completely customizable modular wall boards, and they're really easy to create, to edit, and we'll make a couple right here today. So all you have to do is when you create a new board, you simply click this Add a Card button. Once you add a card, you can choose the type of card, and it's going to give you several different options. So you can choose a line chart, a gauge, a single statistic. You can even iframe content from another website into here. So if you have a client that maybe is using stats from Zendesk and they want to frame those stats on a one board and throw it up on a TV or keep it open in their browser, it's really easy to do that with this system. But today, just for a demo, we're only going to build one stat, and we'll choose the single stat option here. And then now you're going to move next to the data option here. So by data, we mean what content, what are we going to display in this board? So we're going to show, let's just choose the first available option as active calls. And then we can also filter by queue. So if I want to just, for example, see the active calls in our New Jersey technical support queue, I can do that right through here, right? So now we have all that data filtered right through here, the technical support queue, the active calls, just like you see. And now I'm going to go ahead and add this content. My next option is I get alert thresholds I can add to here. So first is the default color of the stat. So if you want to brand this for your client, you're more than welcome to do so. For example, we like our Virtue Blue as our standard color. But then what you can do is you can pop in here, click add an alert. And then alerts can be on multiple different things. It all depends on the stat that you're choosing. So for example, if you wanted to set an alert, so if there's more than 5 active calls in this queue, I want it to turn red. And I also want to turn on a browser notification, because not only can you put this up on a TV, but you can also throw it just right in your browser, and it'll give you a nice little browser alert in the top right corner if these thresholds are met. So we'll go ahead and click add. And then we can also style it up a little bit. So if I want to make the header a little larger, make the stat size a little bit bigger, change what it's called. Maybe I could say queue calls for support. All those features, again, very customizable. And I just simply click done here. And now I'm able to resize it. I can move it around if I do have other stats up on the board. And then when I'm done, I just simply click save here at the top, and it's going to save that board for me. When I'm done with it, I can either go full screen with it, so if I want to share it up on a TV, or I can click this share board option up here at the top, and then you can share the board with either specific people or just people in your organization. You can create a public link, or if you want to just keep it private, a lot of options here to share this content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel out of this one. What we're going to do is just go to a Virtue board that we already have created. This is actually, it shows up a little funky on my screen because the size is for one of our TVs in both of our NOCs in our New Jersey and Florida office. But as you see here, we have all kinds of statistics like abandoned calls, active calls, average hold time for the day, total calls handled during the day. You can even set up leaderboards. So for example, if you want to track your sales team, who's made the most outbound calls for the day, we can do stuff like that. So you can get really, really customizable with these Vie boards or these customizable modular wall boards that you access right from the call center tab. Moving along from there, we now have what we call historic reports. So as I show you historic reports, the first option you have here is what we call email reports. So if you have a client that's running the same report every week, every month, every day, whatever it is, that customer can come right into the system, or you're able to set it up for them and run an automated report so it gets automatically emailed to them, and a nice email that's all going to have your reseller branding. So you can send the report every month, every day, every week. As you see, you get full customization over the time, and then the report type as well. So if you want queue stats, agent stats, dial number reports, whatever it is, you check all those boxes right here in the basic tab. Then we move on over to the advanced tab, and now you'll see it's going to give me all the different options of stats for whatever types I selected in the last tab. So if I want to select multiple stats, I just simply hold down my command button because I'm using a Mac. It's different for Windows, as you see the instructions here, and I can select multiple stats that I want populated right within here. All right. Down here at the bottom, we have extra email addresses. So if I wanted to send this report to multiple people, it's easy to do so. And you can even attach a CSV to that email. It gives them a nicer, easier report that they can download to their computer. All right, so we're going to back out of here, and now we're going to run our actual historic report. So I just simply click on the reports button here, and it's going to bring up this reports option. So I can run reports at 5 different levels. I can run it at a queue level. I can run it at an individual agent level. I can run agent availability stats, which will show me reports based on who's logged in, how long they're logged in, if they're on a break, meeting, whatever it might be. Dialed number statistics, we find this super popular with marketing campaigns, so you can actually track call volumes and other statistics based on the phone number that was dialed. And then abandoned call reports are also very popular. They're going to itemize every abandoned call, how long they were holding, all that different data that's going to be valuable for your customer. Also, over here on the right-hand side, we have the option to print or download these different reports. So that's all there for your clients. And then we can customize the date and time ranges that we run a report for. So I'm going to run a report for the month of July so far. And then over here on the right-hand side, we have this little settings option. And as you see, for each report type, you have tons of different individual granular stats you can see. So all you have to do is simply check and uncheck one of those boxes, and our system is going to calculate that custom report. It should cache the options in your customer's browser, so they shouldn't have to add those options every time, but it is a pretty cool feature to be able to customize. So what we'll do is we'll look through our technical support queue real quick here. I'll just show you how to read these stats and understand them. What you'll notice at the top of each column of each statistic, it'll actually have the full definition of what that stat means. So by default, it should be very, very easy for your client to log in here and understand exactly what they're looking at. But again, we'll look at our technical support queue. I can see so far this month of July, we've been dispatched 417 calls. I can see our average wait time for the day is 8.2 seconds. I can see 99.2% of calls met our service level agreement, which means we answered them within 30 seconds. So I get all that info right there. And then from our other tutorial for SMS call center, you can even gauge SMS usage for those call queues in here as well. Moving on along to agent stats. Agent stats are going to group together all your agents, so you're going to be able to see statistics on a per employee basis. Similar concepts apply, so you can sort by department, by queue, by time and date range, and then again, you can customize these reports. You can see inbound statistics, outbound statistics, and much more. So down here, as you see, our call center reports right here for our different team members. Again, definition of all the statistics is at the top of the column, just like I showed you earlier. And now you can see all those individual itemized stats broken out on a per team member basis. The next stat that we have is what's called our agent availability stat. Again, similar concepts. You can customize which stats appear. You're able to track employee times based on when they're logged in, when they're available, if they're on lunch, if they're on break, and if they're in a meeting. We'll go over later in the call center agent training how your clients' agents can set these different meeting and different types of agent availabilities. But right here, it's going to categorize all those and organize them and give you that great reporting so you know what's going on. So our next available report we can run is dial number statistics. Just for time today, we're going to skip on over this one, but really easy. It's going to itemize calls based on the DNIS they were dialing. So it's a very popular report with marketing campaigns. You can track phone number volume, all those different things. And then finally down here at the bottom, we have our abandoned call report. So if I wanted to see any abandoned calls to the virtual queues for the month of July, I can see all that data. And again, it's going to itemize and catalog every single call here for me in and out of the system. I can see how long they were holding. So if I wanted to, if I had a client complaint that maybe they were holding for 2 minutes and nobody answered, I can actually check that right here from the abandoned call report. Moving off of reports, we have a few other options here that are really helpful for a call center supervisor. First, they can see and visualize every single call queue within the organization. They can see how many active calls are on that queue, and they can also see how many agents are available within that queue. And then down here at the bottom right, They can actually see any agents within the platform that are available online or offline, and then they can also view statistics by hovering their mouse over these folks and then even listening in and monitoring that conversation. All right. So thank you so much for attending today's training session. Please look forward to the next one.